Did Spike Spiegel die at the end of Cowboy Bebop? Personally, I 100% believe he did. Originally, I had a lot of trouble accepting that because just imagine all the shit that he went through. How many times he's been shot, stabbed, choked out, crushed, suffocated, God knows what else. All the times he's survived literally bombs exploding right next to him, being flung against brick walls. I mean, the episode with the Mad Hatter dude, Perriot, whatever the guy's name is, who had the thing in him that every time bullets shot, the bullets just stopped and bounced off of him. When he fought that guy, it was like 10 times in there I thought he was going to bite it. But no, he survived every single encounter. And in the last episode, from what we can see, what kills him? A bullet to the arm, a kunai above, somewhere in the chest, maybe above the heart, and finally, a possible slice across the stomach with a katana. Now, of course, you have everybody analyzing the hell out of this. How they say, oh, but the slash mark, when you see the blood coming out of his stomach from when Vicious cut him across the stomach, Vicious had to pull his blade up off the ground and come around swinging, and he accidentally nicked his knee. And what you see, that bloodstream going across Spike's stomach, that blood splurt, isn't coming from his stomach, it's coming from Vicious's knee, because they're positioned kind of in the same area from the angle we're looking at it. And I see what people mean, and especially if you want to get really technical with the animation, they're people would say, well, Vicious and Spike are so far away from each other that how the hell could Vicious's blade reach Spike in that swinging distance? I mean, Spike had a gun, so of course, bam, one shot, Vicious is dead. But the problem with that is, even though it seems completely unlikely that he died, just from the amount of shit that he's endured in the past versus the injuries he sustained in this fight with Vicious, it just seems unlikely. But the thing that I think killed Spike wasn't necessarily a point of physical damage. I personally look at it as more of a metaphorical, philosophical type essence that killed him. Such as Vicious being the only one who could kill Spike, and Spike being the only one who could kill Vicious. And what I mean by that is, throughout the show, constantly, anytime the two of them clash, it alludes to this, that only one could take out the other, and only the other could take out the other one. Which means that, in the end, a final confrontation, in any final confrontation, the only just outcome would be for both of them to off one another. Not mattering if one had the upper hand against the other. It just seems equalized now. That one off the other and the other off the one. And of course you always have the people who love Spike, yeah, it's a bummer. He went through so much shit, all this pain, whatever, just to die in the end. But the thing about his death was, it wasn't anticlimactic. It felt, even if he did die, at least to me, it felt right. Everything was just. Everything was perfect. All the ties were cut. Everything was done. And of course, another thing people throw in is, Spike had this friend in the Syndicate who actually helped him when he raided the Red Dragon Crime Syndicate building to get Vicious. He had this friend, Ken or something, or Yen, or I forget his name, but he was a brother of someone that he knew who was part of the organization. They still liked Spike. And he ended up dying. And when his friend was dying, he told Spike, we were waiting for you to come back and take over. Such as, come back, kill Vicious, then you get the organization. But when you think about it, that keep saying Vash. Oh, by the way, try going to review next video. No, not a review. Spike, I don't think he would have taken the syndicate, no matter what. That was like the whole point of that life was, like Julia in the past, Vicious is in the past, we're done with that, it's over, new life. But at the last episode, of course, he had to confront that past. But I don't think he would have returned to it had he even survived. So I think the ending would have been confusing. Like, sure, let's say he did beat Vicious, and he did defeat him and everything. Everything was peachy keen. He survived the whole ordeal. He walks down those steps. What's to stop the rest of the crime syndicate from just blowing him away? I guarantee he would have not gotten out of that scenario. As amazing of shit that he has survived, I don't think he would have made it out of that. Of course, there are some things in the show that I find completely far-fetched that he could have survived, because that was originally my only reason for disbelieving that he died, was all the shit that he faced in the past. Like, in the movie, the guy Vincent, the main antagonist of that movie, grabs him by the face in a way similar to how Vicious did in the whole episode where they fight in the church, grabs Spike by the face, and they're on like this trolley thing over the ocean. He takes him by the face, smashes him backwards out the window of the train, points a gun somewhere in like his stomach, between the stomach lung area, and fires a bullet straight through him. And then he falls backwards like thousands of feet into the water. A few scenes later, he washes up on a beach and this Indian dude is, healing him or whatever. Now, could you say that it's the future and they have pretty good healing techniques? Yeah, sure. But personally, I just think it was all the philosophy of the story that really drove it forward. And in that respect, I do believe he is actually dead. Because for me, it would be the only logical closure point. And that's where I'm going to end it. See you next video.